Welcome on board this Rwand Air Boeing 737-800. So in today's video, I'll be sharing with you what happens before, during, and after takeoff. This and many more coming up next in today's video. But please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that already. Now let's delve in. So when I sat down, there were still other passengers getting on board the aircraft. The ground staff were busily loading our luggages into the aircraft. The legroom on this aircraft is pretty much decent, and the cabin crew on board assisted the passengers to store their luggage in the overhead compartment. So not long after, I had my companions for the flight. So these two grannies were going to be my seatmates for the next 5 hours. Now we seem to have had all the passengers on board the aircraft, and now it's time for pushback onto the runway. So while we did the pushback, a mandatory safety video was being played on the overhead screen.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board this Rwand Air Being 737-800. The crew are here for your safety and to ensure you have a comfortable flight. This short video highlights important safety information, so can we please have your attention? Hand baggage must not be placed in the aisle or next to an exit. Please be careful at all times when opening an overhead compartment, as items...
In the aviation industry, time is of high essence. So while we did the pushback, the safety video was also being played. So all these things will happen simultaneously.
E-readers and mobile phones must be switched to flight or aircraft mode before takeoff and landing. Larger devices such as laptops and notebooks can also be used, but must be stowed away for takeoff and landing. You will be notified by the cabin crew once our Wi-Fi and GSM service is accessible. Please note there are 8 emergency exits on this aircraft, 4 over wing, 2 rear doors and 2 front doors. All exits are clearly marked with opening instructions and are illuminated by exit signs. The location of your nearest exit is now being indicated by the crew. Please bear in mind that it could be located behind you. In an emergency situation, floor-level lighting will indicate the way to these exits. If instructed to leave the aircraft, move quickly to the nearest exit, leaving all personal items behind, which are fitted with smoke detectors. If you have any queries, or have not fully understood the content of this safety briefing video, please contact a cabin crew member. The crew will now make a final inspection of the cabin.
At this point, we made it to the runway. The engines of the aircraft were fired up, ready for takeoff. This is the city of Accra from the skies. Tell me if you can recognize any part of Accra in this video. So much high in the sky, so the boat and the canoe were very much visible from this point, and I just had to admire them from my seat. We were 3,428 kilometers away from our destination, which is Kigali in Rwanda. and we had 4 hours 33 minutes to complete before we get to Kigali, and we had just spent 6 minutes into our 5-hour flight. So this overhead screen gives you all the details and information you need to know about your flight. So it tells you the temperature outside the aircraft, it tells you the altitude you are flying in, even the speed at which the aircraft was flying, which was 663 kilometers per hour. The aircraft had reached its cruising altitude, so you barely see any movement when you look outside the window. Now it was time for lunch. So the cabin crew first brought a tray with cutlery, salad, cheesecake and butter. Having lunch at an altitude of 8,534 meters above sea level, I can only call it lunch with the Most High. So on the menu were options: rice with chicken, mashed potatoes with beef, and vegetarian food. It's very interesting. Food on flights are always very small in quantity, but after consuming the whole platter, which is the main meal, the salad, dessert and the juice, you should be fine. Their chicken breast was well cooked and tender, and I enjoyed it. One disadvantage of these overhead screens is you don't get to choose what you want to watch. Cabin crew always chooses what they want for you. So they were showing this American movie on the screen. Me, I was not interested, so I was totally unconcerned. Now let's move to the back of the plane and check how the washroom looks like. There's nothing so special about airplane washrooms. Looking at the horizon, I could see that the sun was setting. I decided to take a nap, and when I woke up, we had already started our descent into Kigali. The lights coming from the city look just amazing. Now we have touched down in Kigali. Welcome to Rwanda. Now the airplane had come to a halt and it was time to disembark. Now since Kigali wasn't my final destination, I had to go through checks again and sit patiently in the waiting area for my connecting flight. I believe you enjoyed this video. If you did, kindly like this video, share so other people can see, and please subscribe if you haven't done that already, and watch out for my next upload on my connecting flight to Nairobi. Stay positive, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.